across the South Coast, live from Solent University. You're listening to Solent Sports News.
Good afternoon, it's 1 o'clock. I'm Chloe Boyne and these are your Solent Sports News headlines. The England Women's Cricket World Cup campaign is underway and off to a dream start. England bowled out South Africa in a little over an hour for 69 runs. Our reporter Piran Phillips has been watching the action. What can you let us know about what's been going on, Piran?
Good afternoon, Chloe. Yeah, it's been a dream start for England. After bowling out South Africa for 69, South Africa only had one batter hit over 7 runs. So absolutely incredible by the England bowlers to begin with. England are now in batting and they're 34 not out. So it's looking good for a convincing first match win at the World Cup out in India.
Thank you very much, Piran. And continuing with the cricket, England head coach Charlotte Edwards revealed how she felt entering the tournament.
We've got sort of 3 or 4 players who've playing in their 4th World Cup, 6 girls who are playing their first, and then a group of people who've had good experience. So I feel like we're really nicely set for that.
In football, Thomas Tuchel has made some shock exclusions from his most recent England squad. Jude Bellingham, Phil Foden and Jack Grealish miss out. However, despite their poor form at Nottingham Forest, Morgan Gibbs-White and Elliot Anderson make the cut.
I think there's an extra layer, or like there's on top of it the situation that he has not gathered fully rhythm yet at Real Madrid. He is back in the team. He hasn't finished one full match until now. He has only started one match.
Ange Postecoglou's start as manager is the worst of any Forest boss in 100 years. A 3-2 loss last night in the Europa League against Danish side Midtjylland led to Forest fans chanting for Postecoglou's removal, although the manager wasn't concerned.
I guess it's just the climate we're in where it seems that's the way things are going. But look, that's something I can control. My responsibility lies to make sure that we try and get some wins for this football club and progress it. And that's what I'll be focused on.
Crystal Palace are 19 games unbeaten after their 2-0 win against Dynamo Kiev in the Conference League. The Eagles are now the 17th club to represent the Premier League in European competitions. Southampton have spent the week at England's training ground, St George's Park. Manager Will Still has called on his players to be fully committed in preparation for their away fixture to Derby County tomorrow. Solent's Pat Fitzgerald has been on the streets of Southampton to find fans' thoughts on Still's future.
Obviously, things could happen. Not necessarily the manager might look at players as well. So they give it a season, then start looking at maybe bid him off.
He's got a chance. This is a game to prove himself, really. So we'll see how it is, see how we act.
There's a lot they could do. I mean, their team's not that fantastic, not that good. Will Still's probably the right manager, but I just don't think they've got the players.
Tonight in the Premier League, Bournemouth host Fulham. 5 places in the table separate the two sides, with Bournemouth in 6th and Fulham in 11th. If Fulham beat the Cherries, they will both be sat on 11 points, fighting for an early European spot next season. However, Bournemouth manager Andoni Areola isn't concerned about their position in the table.
I'm not even sure where we are. For me, it's about being competitive. I'm happy because we are being competitive. Some games I think we are playing better, the others not as good, but I think we are being competitive and I want to keep this level, at least all the season if we can.
Sholing FC have called on the FA to create a safety work fund for non-league teams. This comes after the passing of Chichester forward Billy Vigor. The 21-year-old sadly died from a brain injury after a collision with a concrete wall around the pitch perimeters at Wingate and Finchley. A top of the table clash tonight occurs in the Women's Super League. Manchester United host Chelsea as they hope to leapfrog the London side to the top of the table. From their last 5 head-to-heads, Chelsea have won 4, with United taking the other victory. A new women's football tournament is also on the horizon. Following the Men's Club World Cup in the summer, we now have the Women's Champions Cup. The competition will bring together the winners of the different continental champions. London will host the tournament, with the venue yet to be confirmed. Arsenal will be Europe's representative for the Cup as they won the latest edition of the Champions League. MMA will return to the South Coast this weekend, with Shock and Awe 39 commencing at the Portsmouth Guildhall. Following a 5-night undefeated run at amateur level, local Jack Stickler co-mains the event and will make his professional debut. Brazilian Jeffrey Almeida will take on the challenge against Stickler with 1 week's notice. Original opponent Nick Fielding has pulled out due to injury. Max Verstappen is building momentum for a late charge for the World Drivers' Championship. The Red Bull driver is currently 69 points behind championship leader Oscar Piastri. If Verstappen wins this weekend, then he will have won every race on the current calendar. Fernando Alonso topped the table of free practice 1, and the cars will return to the track at 2 p.m. Following on from the Formula 1, a heat hazard declaration has been made at Marina Bay. This comes into effect when the temperature reaches 30 degrees at any given time during a race weekend. The drivers can be equipped with a cooling vest in order to combat the extreme conditions. Flights, transport and schools are not the only things being affected by Storm Amy. Tonight's rugby union fixture between Edinburgh and Ulster has now been postponed due to the yellow weather warning. It has now been declared no longer safe to play the match and will be rescheduled at a later available date. That's all from us for this hour, and I'll be back at 2. Remember, you can keep up to date 24 hours a day on our website, which is solentsportsnews.com.